be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make one of these, I guess, pom-pom. Well, I'm calling it the interweave slouch hat. Interweave cable slouch hat. And I'm calling it the interweave crochet, interweave cable, because this is what I'm calling this stitch. I don't know if it actually has a name. But that's what I'm calling it. And I always wanted to make kind of a squared off hat that had pom-pom, so I was just waiting for the right stitch to come along, and this is the one I decided would be perfect. So I'm going to be showing you how to make this, and this is very adjustable. This is for adult females. I don't know if an adult male would want to wear something like this, but for like a little girl or something like that, it begins with 70, a chain of 70. If you're making it for a 5 or 6 year old, which is about the size of my daughter, I would go about 60 and something like that. You need to stay in things of 2. So anything that's an even stitch, multiples of 2. That's what I meant to say. In multiples of 2. So anything that's even, like 60, 62, 58, something like that, you can use. So like I said, with this one I did a chain of 70. Because I wanted it to be a little loose. If you're making it for a 5-year-old, I would suggest making it 58, just to be on the safe side, because it will stretch. So I'm going to be using, for this one I used, we get this out here in Israel. It's Lauren Classics. I've seen this a few times. They always have these really cool colors, but I don't see them that often. It says it's 100 grams and 230 MT. I know that that's not yards, and I tried to look up what MT meant, and I couldn't find it. I know it ain't metric ton, which they kept trying to tell me. So if you know what MT stands for, please comment on the video, and please let us all know what MT means. I've seen, like for instance, this one has 170 MT, but it says it's 186 yards. So I know that the MT is not yards. So this being 230 MT, the yards are going to be more. So it may be like, 280 yards, something like that. And it took me 2 of these. It took one full one, and then what you see here of the second. Not a lot of it, but you are going to need one. You're going to need more than one of these. And also, Pompom Maker, I have a tutorial that I show you how to make this Pompom Maker. And you can make your own pom-poms here. All you need is a cereal box and a glass. And that's it. You're also going to need a 5mm hook, or size H hook for the US, and also a size 6mm hook or size J hook in the US. And let me think, and that's it. You can use a tapestry needle if you want to help to sew in your ends on the inside of your hat to hide your tails, but that's it. You don't absolutely need one, but it would be nice. And that's it. So we're going to start off by making the rim of the hat, and you're going to be needing your 5mm hook. So grab your yarn and your 5mm hook, and let's get started. A chain of 40, but this is just for my sample piece. You should have 70 or anyway, I got my 40 stitches, and once you do, make sure that your chain is not twisted in any way. And then what I do is I hold my end of my beginning chain. See, this is where I first made my slip knot. I hold it here in my hand, keeping it the same direction, and I just get my hook here and I put it in the bottom stitch, because once I get started it'll be my top stitch. So out of both of them I go into this single bottom stitch, and then I do a slip stitch just to connect my ring. Then you can make sure that nothing is twisted, and when you do and it's not twisted, then you want to chain 2. And I like to work over my tail as I go, so I'm going to grab this. And what you want to do is in the very next stitch, using the top loop only, you're going to be doing a double crochet. And you're going to be putting 1 double crochet in each stitch around. The chain 2 at the beginning, does count as a stitch. So right now I have 3 stitches. So you want to do 1 single crochet all the way around, and at the end of the round you should still have the amount that you started with. So if you had 40 chains, you should still have 40 stitches at the end. So continue that around, and I'll see you back here in a moment. A quick tip about chaining: make sure that your beginning chain isn't too tight. So when you begin your chain, don't you know, do it so fast to where you have this tight chain, and don't do it so loosely that you have huge chain, because it affects the size. Remember, you're going to be fitting this over the head. So what I try to do is I'll take it one at a time and just make sure I'm keeping them uniform, not too tight, not too loose. And that's the kind of chain that you want to start with. So just make sure that your beginning chain isn't, because if you messed up, this is the time that you want to fix it. So anyway, continue around, and you're working in the top stitch only. Okay, I just got done with the round 1, and you have your chain 2 at the beginning. You want to go and slip stitch in this beginning chain. Now that was round 1. So for rounds 2 through 5, for the next 4 rounds, you'll be doing the same thing I'm about to show you. You'll begin the round by chaining 2, and then your very first post here of the round, you'll be doing a front post double crochet. Then your second stitch of the round will be a back post double crochet, and then you'll alternate that again and again. You'll do a front post, and then you'll do a back post. So continue doing this all the way around, and again you'll slip stitch in the beginning stitch of your chain 2, and then again you'll start the first stitch as a front post double crochet, then the second as a back post. You'll do this for a total of 4 rounds. I'm only going to do it for this next round just because this is a demo, but you go ahead and do it for the next 4 rounds, and I will see you back here when you're done. Okay, so you at this point should be at your round 5, just getting done with round 5, and you should have this bigger band. And when you get to the end of round 5, slip stitch again into the top of the chain 2, pull up slightly, and then you want to change your hook size from 5mm hook size H hook to a 6mm hook size J hook. Now we're going to be starting the actual portion of the hat. So you want to start off again by chaining 2, and now this round we're going to be doing a double crochet in each stitch around. So put 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So continue that all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of this. This would be round 6. When you get to the end of the round, you want to slip stitch in this beginning chain. And then you'll want to, sorry, I'm fighting with my yarn here. You want to chain 2, and then you're going to be doing triple crochets. Actually this one you're going to be doing triple crochets. So what you do is you skip your first chain and then your second stitch as well, and you're going to be using the next 2. So you're going to be skipping the chain in the next stitch and going right into this next stitch and doing a triple crochet. So you want to yarn over twice, 3 loops on your hook, then using the post you want to work a triple crochet on the post, then yarn over twice, and again on the next stitch. You'll always be working in 2s. So you have your 2 here, and now you're going to be working with these next 2 stitches. So you're going to have the chain, which is the one you're about to use now, and then the second stitch you'll be putting on this post here. So again, we're going to be working on the chain first, so you'll yarn over twice. You're going to be going behind these two that you just did, but in between the chain. The chain you won't be going under. So you're just going to be going behind those two triple crochets and grabbing up that chain from the row, one row down, and you're going to be one row down, and you're pulling it up, and this is going to make it easier to work with by pulling it up. Yarn over and pull through a loop, and then you complete your triple crochet. And then again, go from behind and get up that next post that you skipped. Pull it up, and then do a triple crochet. So skip 2, 1 and 2, and then the next you'll repeat that by doing a triple crochet. Yarn over twice, go into the next post and do a triple crochet. Now these two that you just skipped, going behind, grabbing up the post, pulling it up, and doing a triple crochet. Again, go behind, grab up the next post, pull it up, and do a triple crochet. If you don't want to do the triple crochet, you can easily do this one in double crochet. It just depends on how tight you want your stitches. You can do, let me show you this hat. This one I did using double crochets, and this one I did using triple crochets. This is the regular, let me back up just a bit. This is a regular slouch hat pattern that I used. If you have ever seen, if you've been following me for a while, you know about my butterfly stitch and cluster slouch hats and you name it. I have a lot of hats like this pattern. Basically you start by chaining 70 and then you continue. When you get here, you do it until it's the same size and you finish it the same way. And it comes out a bit tight. So it's a much tighter hat. And for this particular hat, I really wanted it to be slouchy and loose. So I'm going for the triple crochet and the size 6 hook. This one was made with double crochets and a 5mm hook. So I don't know if you want to use a 6mm hook and a double crochet, it's up to you. But I really like the triple crochet, so I'm going to stick with that. But it is up to you, whatever you want. So for this hat pattern, it's triple crochets. But this is just basically showing you how to work in the round. So once you learn how to work in the round, you can use whatever you like. So again, I'm yarning over twice. Skip 2 stitches, and then in the next one, you start your triple crochet. Now I'm going to show you this one in slow motion. And this is how you'll continue to do this all the way around. So just continue skipping 2, triple crochet, going from behind the stitch. Then you'll be grabbing this one first and then this one second, and doing a triple crochet on this one, triple crochet on this one. So continue that all the way around, and I'll see you when you get up here to the end. One of the last stitches of my round, so I'm going to skip these 2. And I wanted to tell you, when you're going into your next stitch, make sure that you don't have some wide stitch like this, because it's really going to mess up the hat in between. Try to keep your stitches fairly tight in between, so don't allow the chain to get too wide in between stitches. This one here, because you do want it to pull together. You don't want it to be too loose. And again, sorry for the sound. They're building an apartment building beside us. So we got a whole year of this, yay. Okay, when you get done, you have the chain stitch at the beginning. You're always going to slip stitch in the beginning chain stitch. This one I did a chain 2, which I actually should have done a chain 3. So whoops. Go ahead and slip stitch on the top of the chain 2. And chain 3. Now we're always going to be slip stitching in our beginning chain to finish our round, and sometimes it can be hard to find, so you really have to dig in there to find where it is. But it's going to be very easy to know when you've come to the end of the round, because it's going to completely change directions on you. It's going to be different. So, because you're going to be beginning right now in the same direction, you're going to be following all the way around. So you're going to know the ending when you get to it. And that's when you'll start digging around and you'll find your beginning chain and you'll slip stitch into it. Took me a little bit of time to learn how to find it, but you'll get it. So now these first 2 that are facing this direction, these are the 2 we're going to be working with. You're going to go right into the post of the first one and put a triple crochet, and then you'll go right into the post of the second one, because we're working in 2s here, and do a triple crochet. Now this is where we back up. Each interweave cable stitch row will be alternating. So you'll do one like this where you actually have to go behind, and then this will be the second way you'll do it. So every time you do one like that where you go behind, you get them all facing this way. Now when you're ready to do the next round, this is how you get them to be facing this way, so it actually looks like it's weaved. How you do that is you want to go in front of the stitch this time, like you would a normal work, and you'll be grabbing these 2 stitches that are underneath. See, this one obviously you can see well because it's on top, but then you know you went behind the stitch last row and you created these 2 stitches behind. So they're behind, they're kind of hard to see. You'll have to separate it, push it forward. And you want to do a triple crochet using each of those. So I'm going to be going in front, grabbing up this first stitch, pulling it up, doing a triple crochet. Then you grab the next one and do a triple crochet. And I'll show you again. You'll want to go to the next one that's facing this way. Do your triple crochets on those first. And then you'll want to find the stitch that's going this direction, which is behind. Like this is the one you just worked. It has also one behind. You're going to be working with those behind ones. Go from the front and just grab it up. It may be easier to see because it's variegated yarn. And now I'm going to show you in slow motion. And there you go. Now you can see you have some facing this direction and some facing that direction. So you want to continue this all the way around, and when you get back up to the beginning, I'll show you what to do next. Come into my round, and again you want to find that chain 3 at the beginning and slip stitch in that top of the chain 3. When you're working these stitches, to try to make sure that you don't let the chain get too wide in between. Like this one's probably a bit wider chain than I would like. Just try to keep them more uniform so your hat doesn't get too loose. So when you've gotten done, you slip stitch in the beginning chain, you want to chain 3 again. And then we're going to be working with this beginning. See, this is the chain, beginning chain from last round. And then this is 2 triple crochets that you have going this way. Underneath these 2 stitches going this way. We're going to be working a triple crochet on this one and this one. And then we're going to be going from behind again to get these 2 stitches, which are fairly easy to see. So going to yarn over twice. You're going to find the first one. Remember, don't do it on the chain. You want to do it on the stitches only. Do a triple crochet, then a triple crochet. And then when you go from behind, you want to go in between. You don't want to grab you don't want the chain to be in front. So you'll be going in between these two. So you'll yarn over, go in between, go behind the 2 triple crochets but in front of that chain, and you're going to be grabbing up your double crochets, or triple crochet, sorry, the ones that are going this direction, and pulling it up in between, just like that, just like you did the first row, and doing a triple crochet. And then again, stupid yarn, go behind these 2, grab up that next post, pull it up behind, and do a triple crochet. Then again, you'll be skipping these next 2 that are going that direction, and you'll be grabbing these 2 that are behind this one, the ones that are going in this direction. So you'll be going in and grabbing those. This is the first one, and this is the second. And again, you'll be going behind these stitches, grabbing up these 2 skipped stitches that you skipped a moment ago, pulling those up, doing a triple crochet, and you'll be continuing this all the way around till you get up to this, and again you'll dig out that chain, slip stitch in the beginning, chain 3, and then you'll be starting again. This time you'll be starting with the ones on top here, and then the ones that are underneath on this side facing this direction. And you'll just keep doing those same 2 rows over and over and over again until it gets to the size that you want. And if you're making this for any other size rather than adults, you can look up, there's many sites, and I'll try to find one and put one a link in the description underneath this video. But there are a lot of sites that tell you the circumference of the hat and how round it should be depending on the size. So I do recommend even going to any of those sites and measuring correctly, keeping in mind this beginning chain is always tighter than normal. You can prevent this on a hat when you're beginning from the rim if you know how to do foundation double crochets or foundation single crochets, because it prevents this tightness of the beginning chain. So anyway, you are starting with the chain here, and if you want to continue to do it the way that I'm doing it here, then make sure that you measure it around and for the size that you need. This is for an adult that I showed you here, so that's 70. So if you want to go down a size, maybe if you're making it for a child or a teenager, then you go down one more. Teenager may be able to fit this one, but it could be a bit big. So maybe you want to go down 4 stitches or 6 stitches, you know, an even number, and then measure it and see if it's the good size that you need. Child, I would go even smaller, you know, maybe go down to, you could try 58 stitches, 60, something like that. And then just keep going down and stay in even numbers and make your swatch, you know, basically go and do a few rows, measure it, make sure that you're on the right size. This is how you can make any size hat work for you, because everybody crochets at different tightnesses. So you definitely recommend that you learn the gauge and how to make little swatches for yourself so you know the size. That way you can make any size hat, even if they only show you how to make adult, you'll always be able to change it. Now when it comes to a slouch hat, you obviously, let me back up a bit, you obviously don't want to make it as long, because for an adult the neck is obviously going to be longer, so you're going to have more of a slouch back here. For a kid, you probably want to go down, I would say decrease it maybe two rows, or I should say 2 inches. For adult, it's 10 inches. So if you're going down one size for a child or something like that, then maybe you want to go down 1 inch if you want it to be a little slouchy on them, or 2 inches for maybe a perfect slouch. just keep in mind, you know, if it's really slouchy, these balls are going to hang down. So maybe 2 inches per size you're going down. So there's adult, 2 inches down for a child, 2 inches down for a toddler, and so far and so forth. I don't recommend ever making a hat for a baby that can grab things and start to chew on them. I do not recommend ever making pom-poms on a hat for a baby because they can swallow it. So I would say child size, toddler. I wouldn't do it any more than a toddler size. I wouldn't make baby. So, so continue these rows, like I said, over and over again until your hat reaches, for an adult, 10 inches or 25 centimeters. And then once it does, I will show you how to finish the hat. Okay. When you get to the end of the round, you want to slip stitch on top of your beginning chain as always, and then get out your tape measure and measure this. And if it's 10 inches or 25 centimeters, measure from the bottom of the rim all the way to the last round worked. And if it's 25 centimeters or 25 centimeters is just a little less than 10 inches. So about 9 1/4 or 10 inches is fine. When you get it to that, then when you're ready, you want to take off your 6mm size J hook and exchange it back for your 5mm H hook. And go ahead and chain 1. Then now we're going to be working in the stitches, just putting 1 single crochet in the very first stitch, and then the next one will be a decrease. So you're going to grab up 1 stitch, go into the next stitch, grab up a stitch, then pull through all 3 loops. Then you find your next stitch, do 1 single crochet. Then again, you're going to be doing a decrease. So you'll be doing 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet decrease, 1 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet decrease. And you're going to be doing this for the next 2 rows. So this row and 1 more. So if you need to put a marker here at the beginning, go ahead, but I don't need. So anyway, you'll do 1 round, finish this round of 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet decrease, and I'll see you when you get back here. I've come to the end of my round, my first round of decreases. You just want to slip stitch in that beginning stitch, chain 1, single crochet back into that first stitch, and then do your single crochet decrease. So I'm now beginning my second round of decreases. So continue around. I'm not going to tell you the exact amount of stitches because depending on what kind of hat, it could be less stitches. So as long as you're doing single crochet decrease, the next one, just do it for 2 rounds, you'll be fine. Okay, when you get to the end of your row, slip stitch in the last stitch, and then you want to go ahead and turn your hat inside out, and I would push it inside out from the rim out to this direction. That way you don't get your string all caught up in everything in it. Going the opposite way. Find your hook, your loop here. There, now you're on the inside of the hat. Okay, now all you want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 just to make it easier to move. Back out just a bit here. You want to line up your stitches as best as you can, and you're going to be slip stitching using the back loops only. So this is the back loop of this one, find the back loop of this one, and slip stitch. And you want to watch your taunt here, so don't slip stitch too tightly. I'm going through the back loop on this one, finding the back loop on this one, and then slip stitching. And again, you really got to watch. I'll pull my loop up just a bit, because you just want to make sure it's not too tight. Unless you do want it a little bit more tighter here, then this is definitely the place to do it. If you want it a little bit more tighter, I should say a little bit more smaller on the end of your hat. But I don't. I want to have some separation of my hat in between my pom-poms, and I want my pom-poms to dangle down from the corners. I don't want it to be on the back of the head too much. I'm just going to continue my way down. Still trying to watch my taunt here. Do not want it to be too tight. Pull your loop up just a bit. Can help prevent it from getting too tight. Okay, when you come to the end here, just slip stitch into that stitch and chain one. And then you can cut your yarn. And this is where you can get your tapestry needle and work it down your stitches here. Okay, just hit my toe real quick. Now you want to go ahead and turn your hat back inside out with the correct side facing you, and pull out those corners the best you can. Make sure those corners are out, because you want to attach it pom-poms on it. Now, like I said, I have a Pompom Maker video, excuse me, that teaches you how to make pom-pom makers like this. And this is about 8 centimeters, which I think I read it was about 3 inches for you guys in the US. It's about the, 3 inches around. And they make about this size pom-poms. And I made my rim dark, so I decided to make my pom-poms dark. But the connecting string, the one that you use to tie the pom-poms together once you get it all cut, I made it the color of my hat, because you're going to be attaching it. And this is your attaching string, so you want it to be the same color. And what I did to attach it is I find my corner here, very corner, and I got my 5mm hook, and I put it into the corner. And then these have 2 strings, so I'm going to grab one of them and pull it in. Pull it inside. And then my other one, I want it to be someplace else, so a little bit over to the side. So I'm going to get my hook here, go a little bit over to the side. The reason why you want to have some distance is because if you sew in the same space too closely, it's going to be too floppy. It won't be really secure. So I'm going to go a little bit away, maybe a 1/2 inch away or 1 inch, whatever you feel would give you a more sturdy connection. And pull that string towards me there. Now if you grab the strings on the inside of your hat, you can look and see if that's good enough into the corner that you want. And for me, I'm not happy with that. I wanted mine to be more in the corner, which seems like this is where my stitches end, but this is more of my corner, so it looks like I'm gonna have to go a little bit through my interweave cable to get to the very corner on this side. Just find a secure enough place to pull it in. Then I guess I'm going to go into my corner of my stitches, my beginning stitches here, pull my other string through. I'm going to pull them down. Now I like that much better. It's in the corner. So when you got it where you want, just going to tie, not too tightly. I'll put 3 knots. Then I'm going to cut my string some. I'm going to work it in. You can work it in with your hook or with tapestry needle. Tapestry needles are much better at hiding your tails where they don't come out. So do that for the other side as well, and then you will be done with your pom-pom hat. I hope that you like this tutorial, and I'll put the links to the Pompom Maker and to other sizes, to the pattern if it has other sizes. I can update a pattern. I can't update a video. Once it's out there, it's out there. So all I can do is make another video or change the pattern. So always check the pattern because it can change. So if I do get more of an exact size, like if I make my 6-year-old daughter hat and I have a perfect size, then I will make sure I put the pattern up there for you. So as the time I made this video, I haven't, so it's all guesswork. So this has been the tutorial to make this interweave cable slouch hat. I hope that you liked this tutorial, and if you did, please click like, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.